Joining us now to give us a status check on where things currently stand, Roman Babushkin, the Deputy Russian Ambassador to India, joins us. Many thanks, Ambassador, for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. As I pointed out, it has been pending for a while now. The expectation is that the clearance from the Subject Expert Committee, the Indian regulator, could happen any time now. Could you help us understand where things currently stand on the approval process?
Thank you so much, CNBC, for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and thank you very much for this question, which is one of the topical ones. So this is COVID-19 pandemic created a lot of challenges for all over the world and for our two countries, and so that is a matter of pride that we can jointly collaborate on these issues in a very constructive and forward-looking way. So as far as approval of Sputnik V vaccine, which is one of the most efficient currently available, having more than 90% of efficacy, and being supplied to around 60 countries in the world. So this is quite a long-awaited move here in India as well. So we are looking forward to this since October and November last year, but at the same time we understand that this is a quite a complicated situation, and this is a responsible approach from the Indian government, which is acting very actively in terms of providing massive vaccinations here in India, and soon we are waiting for maybe as it was reported in about a week or 10 days. So we are waiting for the emergency approval of the Sputnik vaccine here in India, and we believe that it would contribute in a big way to the Indian massive vaccination campaign, so that we could jointly join hands in saving lives of the people.
Right. Ambassador, you said that you anticipate or expect that the emergency use authorization could come in the next week or 10 days. Is that the indication that the Indian government or the Indian regulator has given you?
Well, this is information which is available currently. So, and we anticipate this move, very much.
Okay, I just wanted to get a few clarifications from you, because we're given to understand that the last time that the Subject Expert Committee met but did not clear the EUA for the Sputnik V vaccine, one of the concerns was the temperature, storage and distribution temperature. Can you clarify for us whether it is minus 18 degrees or it is 2 to 8 degrees, because there seems to be some confusion on that front?
Mm-hmm. So, in fact, let me a bit clarify that we would not prefer to comment the Indian government's decisions, which is justified by some internal, reasons, as we understand. So, and as far as temperature regime is concerned, as far as we understand, it is modified until the moderate level from, as you said, from 2 to 8 degrees minus.
So it's minus 2 to 8 degrees, not minus 18 degrees.
Well, it seems to be.
Okay. The other clarification that I wanted from you is based on a conversation that I had with Dr. N.K. Arora, who's a member of the Indian National COVID Task Force, and he seemed to suggest that even when the EUA is granted to the Sputnik vaccine, the first batches may in fact have to be imported. Is that a fact? Will we first have to see the imports coming in before we actually see the Indian manufactured vaccine being given out?
Initially, it is understood that India is a global hub for the vaccine production, and that's why there is growing interest all over the world, not only from Russia, to have fruitful cooperation with the Indian companies to produce the vaccines here in India, and this is the main focus. These vaccines, as you mentioned, we have some sort of arrangements with a couple of Indian companies, leading companies, to produce hundreds of millions of doses, and this is not only something which we look for for the production and use in India, but also to be exported to the third countries.
Right. But you're saying that to start with, the vaccine will need to be imported for use in India?
For details, I think it would be appropriate to approach the relevant companies which are involved in the process directly. But as far as we understand that, the main focus would be made on the production of the vaccines in India itself.
That's right. The RDIF is tied up with a handful of Indian manufacturers to produce the vaccine here in India. Ambassador, has there been any conversation around price? Because at this point in time, the Indian government has capped the pricing for Covishield and Covaxin, the two vaccines that are being currently used for the vaccination program, at 150 rupees. Would you have any information on whether that applies to Sputnik as well?
Well, I think it pertains to the commercial information. So, but as far as we understand, the Russian side and Russian partners would be very flexible in terms of the pricing, which would depend largely on the conditions of the productions, of the numbers, and other criteria. So, but in fact, the information which is available, and it can be shared, that the Russian vaccine would be competitive also in terms of pricing as well. Please rest assured about that.
Yes, and of course, RDIF has said that at this point in time, it's being sold at $10 a dose globally to the 60 countries that Sputnik V is being supplied at. Whether that will change for India remains to be seen. Ambassador, many thanks for joining us here on CNBC TV 18. Appreciate your time, and thank you very much for sharing the information that you can share with us here on the... Please go ahead.
So just would like to take this opportunity and to make some concluding remarks, if I may. So first, of course, this vaccine would be affordable. Then this would be another important area of joint strategic partnership between our two countries, which is extending not only just to the vaccine production, but this is our broad cooperation. We see this partnership in a broader context, because we cooperate with each other not only bilaterally but also in a multilateral way in the WHO, in BRICS, and other mechanisms as well. So, and important thing that while we are talking about vaccine production and vaccine supply to third countries, we speak about non-politicized approach in order to support global efforts in fighting COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you very much for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you very much for joining us, Ambassador. Appreciate your time here on CNBC TV 18. That's Ambassador Roman Babushkin here on CNBC TV 18 talking to us about the Sputnik V vaccine. We will take a break, but when we return, restrictions on aviation and hospitality industry.